Yeah, please wait, friends. Yeah, could see few attendees may be joining live from YouTube and other channels. So let me just broadcast it. Yeah. Well, friends, we'll start our session now. Let others join as per their comfort. We'll start now. Great. Let's understand what exactly the cloud engineering part is actually. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. You see my screen, right? Please confirm. Ashwin Thakur, you see my screen? Yep,
Yes, sir, I can see.
perfect. And you're able to see my desktop, right? My desktop
Yes, sir.
folder.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. Then fine. Yep. Let's continue. Fine then. Let's get started. Let's understand what exactly the cloud engineering means. We have something called Azure Data Engineering, right? We have something called Fabric Engineering. We have Snowflake, and we have Databricks, etc. What's the difference between these two? What's the difference between all these items, and why so many activities? Come on, let's get started slowly. So here we go. Let's understand slowly the concept of cloud engineering activities. I'll just put this way. Yes, just wait. Just wait for a few moments. I'll make sure I have the correct information for us. Yes, here we go. We may have any data source. Usually in real world, the source data would be from various channels like databases, right? It can be from databases, or it can be from files, or data can be from apps or web sources from various channels. Our requirement, we need to read the data from all these channels using ETL techniques. Python is one of the preferred option to read the data. And this Python requires an environment. Python requires an environment. For example, regular open source. Python will be used in a platform called Anaconda. One of the platform called Anaconda. It is a free cloud to implement and play with Python. The same Python can be used in Databricks, a separate open source company. I'll just mention this one, okay? Here it is. So we have code-based ETL. These are all code-based ETL, okay, like this. I'll say using Python. I'll just mention this one to make it easier. This one. I'll take Python here. And one more called PySpark. Sorry, a Scala. Okay, here we go. One is Python. I'll just make it this way. Okay, in this way, just put it like this. Python and other one called Scala. These are the two major ETL implementation platforms. And this Python and Scala can be implemented by using number one, Azure Synapse. Number two, Azure Databricks. We can implement Python and Scala using the open source Databricks also. We can implement by using Snowpark from Snowflake, from AWS, Athena we call it, and others. So these are all the various platforms using which we can implement ETL, code-based ETL. This is code-based ETL. Okay, next. We have codeless ETL. Simple drag and drop activities. Here we go. We have something called Azure Data Factory, ADF. We have Synapse Studio, Synapse Data Factory. And we have, ADF pipelines, Synapse pipelines, FDF, Fabric Data Factory. Let me list the main items in the market. We have something called as DBT, Data Build Tool. Okay, these are the major items. And apart from this, we have something called Amazon Glue also. Amazon Glue. Okay, next. So here are the major components that can do codeless ETL. Okay, code-based ETL, codeless ETL, these two. Next. Once you do ETL, extract, transform, load, what next? The data would be given to warehouse. Again, warehouse, we have different companies giving different destinations or different warehousing products. We have Microsoft brand. This one, Microsoft. In Microsoft, we have, for example, number one, in Microsoft, we have, I'll just put this one, called Synapse, also called Synapse SQL Pool, we call it. Okay, something like this. And also we have something called PDW, Parallel Data Warehouse. PDW. It's from Microsoft only. Same way we have, or I'll just put this one. Better we can mention like this.
PDW.
Parallel data warehouse. PDW means parallel data warehouse. It's an old method actually, old style of doing warehousing. PDW we call. Well, next from Microsoft, I'll say Azure Synapse. Same way we have other one. I'll just make it simple. Snowflake. We have Fabric Warehouse also. Fabric Warehouse. For our easy learning, I'll call it as Azure Warehouse. Okay. For our easy learning activity, I'll just generalize it.
Okay.
Next, we have something called Snowflake. And we have other one, Amazon Redshift. Amazon Redshift. And for open source Databricks, here it is, friends. For open source Databricks, we have something called as, on the screen, Spark database. Okay, here it is. What is a Spark database? Let me just document the things in a simple way. Here we go. Spark is an open source environment. Here we go. Spark open source environment, DBT we call a Spark database. So these are all the different warehouses we have. I'll just get a background color to make it easier for us. Here it is. I repeat, ETL, code-based ETL, codeless ETL. Warehouse, this is open source warehouse. Snowflake is also open source. I'll say Amazon Redshift. And this is Snowflake. Okay. These two are open source environments. So warehouse, we have two categories. One is open source warehouse. Other one, the branded warehouse or proprietary warehouse we call. First three are proprietary warehouses. Other two are open source warehouses. ETL, two categories, code-based ETL, codeless ETL. Now, from here, next, let's continue. From here, any questions so far, let me know, please. Ashwin, others, let me know, please. I'll wait.
Nothing from my side.
Well, friends, so let's see. Well, here we go. From here, how do we implement? Yes, to implement these items, we need to start with any kind of data source. Okay. Now, again, here we have specific important information about the type of data sources. Here the data sources can be OLTP database. See here, this one. Okay, OLTP database. So OLTP databases means live online transaction databases. Or it can be files, apps, web sources. In few big projects, this layer or data source layer can be further split into two different areas, two different verticals. Let me show you that one as well to get a broader picture. Okay, here we go. I'll just put this one. Yes, so here it is. I'll have legacy databases. Okay. Legacy databases. From legacy databases, just put this one. Yes, okay, here it is. From legacy databases, we have OLTP databases. Okay, this one. Remember, smaller projects, we may have the regular data sources. Okay, remember. But for bigger projects, we may have a different layer of databases. For example, this one, I'll just put this way. Here you go. On my screen. This is my OLTP layer. Okay, this one. Say OLTP layer. I'll put this way. The OLTP means live online database. For this OLTP, you see the databases like SQL. Okay, in this MS SQL database, or it can be a Oracle database, or it can be a MySQL database, or you may see Postgres. Okay, like this. So these are all the common OLTP databases. From OLTP databases, we get the data to ETL, ETL to warehouse. Next. Sometimes from the original data source, especially legacy databases, you don't want the data to go into OLTP again. In such a case, you bypass OLTP, directly get the data to warehouse, or ETL, ETL to warehouse, like this, in this way. Okay, like this, in this way. It actually applicable for sources like IoT, Internet of Things we call it. Part of my cloud engineering classes, IoT, Internet of Things. So here, data source, OLTP, ETL, warehouse. This is a complete backend concept. Next, coming to the rightmost side. Coming to the rightmost side, you have analytics. See, whatever data operations you perform, at the end of the day should be analyzed. So there comes the concept of reporting. Right? Here it is. So there comes this reporting activities, Power BI, Excel, etc. I'll write like this. This is my analytics layer. So here you have again two items. Number one, you have analytics. Okay. And number two will be AI, data science concepts. That's why if you refer to Amazon Glue or Databricks or Fabric, you see data science notebooks and pipelines as well. Here it is. So you can even propel as data science admins if you master cloud engineering activities. I repeat again, for example, you go to Databricks. Let me show you here. Databricks involves either open source or cloud implementation of Azure or AWS or Google Cloud with Spark databases. For what? Engineering as well as data science, both. Let me show you here. Go to databricks.com. And you see, here it is. We have warehousing, ETL, both warehousing and ETL, including the data science activities AI. So here we have the nice options. I'll just show you. The interface got modified recently by them. Just wait, please. Yes, here we go. On my screen. We have data engineering, data science. Both together is equal to business intelligence. So we can develop data engineering projects, data science projects, both using this Spark databases or other databases. That's why in Fabric also you see the combo certification for engineering and data science together. We have Fabric engineer certification, Fabric analytics certification, and Fabric data science with engineering certification together. Total, there are 3 certifications in Fabric now. One for engineering, one for analytics, and one for data science with engineering.
Fabric
Next.
is a product or what's it? Fabric.
Microsoft product, sir. It's a Microsoft product. Yes.
Okay.
Fabric is a Microsoft product. Just like Azure, we have Fabric.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Some people say Fabric is an upgraded version of Azure, but for me, it's not upgraded version. It is a complete remake version with a lot of add-ons, lot of changes. Yes, there are a lot of things we can do in Fabric. We cannot do using Azure. But as on date, yes, Azure has its own market share. Many companies are already sticking to Azure because there is no point for them to migrate to Fabric and investing extra cost. At the same time, Fabric is mainly aimed for new customers who are actually stepping into cloud or migrating from legacy systems to cloud. So new projects, Fabric, existing projects continue to be in Azure in general. Good to have both. So this is a complete end-to-end activity. So back-end you have data engineer stuff, front-end analytics and data science stuff together, everything blended together. From here, what we need to do then with all these combinations? Master any one OLTP. Data sources, okay, your clients will take care, your web developers will take care, app developers will take care, file owners will take care. Or someone is already taking care of your legacy databases. We need to have at least one OLTP database with us. Microsoft or Oracle or MySQL or Postgres. Or even IBM DB2. Anything is fine. IBM DB2 or Amazon RDS is also there, OLTP. Anyone is required for mastering our skill set. Remember that is OLTP. I'll say IBM DB2. And other one is Amazon RDS. Out of all these, SQL Server, MS SQL, the first one wins the match. It is comparatively cheaper. It is comparatively cheaper. Next. For robust applications, Oracle is very powerful. Cheaper versus very powerful. So if you count the number of clients, Oracle has rich clients. Microsoft SQL Server has more clients. Rich clients are different, more clients are different. Just like a Benz car versus Honda City car. I usually see more number of Honda Cities compared to Benz. It's something like that, really. I'm comparing the value and the proportional growth with respect to the customer count. Anyone is okay in OLTP, but in warehouse, that's not the case. In warehouse, the competition is very minimal because very few companies have their own clouds. Very few companies have their own fiber optic network and satellite network. For example, Microsoft recently posted that the Houthis, they cut the underlying sea cables and they are still working. Microsoft is still working on repairing that underlying sea cables. It just happened last week. You can find more information on Google, Houthis and Microsoft cables cut. Or Somalia pirates, they cut the underlying sea cables 3 years back near Singapore. Remember, friends, there are only very, very limited number of cloud providers in this world. Microsoft is a king in cloud technology. It is a greatest network. Underlying sea cables as well as satellite networks and fiber optic networks. Microsoft has the rich or the latest, and it can penetrate to any part of the world easily with its network. So many companies like Jio, Tata, AT&T, Bell, they still use Microsoft satellite networks. Second company is Amazon. And third, Google Cloud. Let me show you on the screen now. I repeat again, friends, we have a lot of clouds, lakhs of cloud products in this globe. But very, very few products have their own cloud platform. Let me show you practically on my screen what I mean. I'll take you to one cloud platform called Snowflake. What is this? Snowflake is one of the warehousing cloud, but it does not have its own storage. It depends on other cloud. Like me having, or say for example, you having a private jet, but you need the support of the ATC, air traffic controller, to fly your private jet. You also need an airport to park your private jet and for maintenance and other things. Yes, all other clouds are like private jets, and we have only 3 airports. Really, let me show you now. This is actual ground reality. I'll just put this one. Continue. Here are the 3 clouds, friends. Snowflake does not have its own cloud. Salesforce does not have its own cloud. Alibaba does not have its own cloud. SAP does not have its own cloud. Oracle does not have its own wholly owned cloud. They all depend on one of these 3 clouds, including Postgres, Sybase. So I request you to master 1 or 2 out of these 3. We will be safe. Just like, I mean to say, friends, let's depend on the airport, not on the aircraft. Let's depend more on the solid cloud technologies, Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. These are always the greatest items in cloud platform. So Azure engineering we have, AWS engineering we have, Google Cloud engineering we have. These are the true engineers. But Snowflake, no. Snowflake, we usually see developers. They are not true engineers. Why? Because let me tell you, friends, Snowflake does not have the IoT components like Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud has. Snowflake does not have the concept of ETL pipelines that Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud has. Snowflake does not have the concept of data lake and delta lake that Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud has. Snowflake does not have the concept of inbuilt or built-in storage systems. These components have the storage systems. So think big, plan for the future carefully. Yes, we should know. Just like this, friends, a politician always thinks in lot of aspects before they change the party, right? Isn't it? There are a lot of calculations. Why not you and me? We also need to have a lot of calculations and comparisons before we change our stream or before we plan our multi-cloud skill set in our resume. Really. Think big and think 360 degrees carefully. Stick to IT news. Really, it works. Stick to IT news. Follow IT news carefully. Let's learn what's happening around us with respect to IT companies, so that we can quickly take correct decisions at the right time. Better late than ever. As on date, these three are the big clouds. So choose anyone, friends. I'm not telling like, okay, Microsoft is great. Though we are Microsoft learning partner, still we don't want to boast always about Microsoft. Let's value everyone who is doing very well in the IT market. AWS, Google Cloud. But one small thing, friends. Google Cloud has less amount of data centers right now. Less network, less data centers. So a client always checks for the data center count also. Azure and AWS have more data center count compared to Google Cloud. I repeat my statement. Azure and AWS have more data center count compared to Google Cloud as on date, as you see on my screen. So my preference would be Azure or AWS or both. Back to my screen now. Azure or AWS or both. You can ask me, Sai, why don't you go for Fabric? Remember, friends, Fabric still uses Azure as a backend. Fabric is a SaaS, software as a service. Fabric does not have IaaS, infrastructure as a service. I repeat, Fabric is a add-on built on top of Azure ground. So Fabric is not a competitor for Azure, let me tell you, friends. In fact, for example, let me put this way. In my Fabric classes, I have been running Fabric class for almost 2 years now. And Fabric age is 2.5 years old. So let's come to the ground reality practically. For example, I'll put this one. We have something called Fabric Data Factory. I was mentioning here, right? Something called FDF, Fabric Data Factory for codeless ETL. In Fabric Data Factory, we have something called staging activities. Let me put this way. Fabric Data Factory, I'll just search for staging. You know what? Fabric Data Factory uses Azure as a stage. So at the end of the day, we need to again depend on Azure items only. These are all Azure storage accounts we'll be using. We call it as external stage. I mean to say, friends, Fabric depends on Azure as well. Fabric new projects, Azure old existing projects. Someone wanted to migrate from MSPI, SSIS, or Talent, Informatica, SAP BW, OBI, Oracle BI. For them, Fabric is the best option. Someone already into data engineering, there is no point for my company to take a separate license for Fabric if the customer is already billing the company for, or the company is already billing the customer for their operations which are already successful in Azure. Let's think practically. Better to have both Azure and Fabric. No problem. But for experienced profiles, Azure and AWS have more value than Azure and Fabric because multi-cloud. Let's think practically, friends. Who knows if something happens to Amazon? What happens to AWS? Who knows if something happens to Microsoft tomorrow? What will happen to both Azure and Fabric? Let's think practically, friends. There are a lot of companies which have, like bad news for their products. Best example, Tableau. There was some legal battle in Tableau, and Tableau was given to Salesforce. The other company acquired it. And we all know what happens to PeopleSoft, the ERP product. 1 decade back, it was ruling the world. I mean to say, friends, we have to think 360 degrees, not just the current trend, not just the expected future forecast. Even what if analysis is also required. So my preference, Azure plus AWS at first place, then slowly get into Fabric next, or Azure and Fabric at first place, slowly step into AWS next. Plan for at least 3 clouds for next 3 years from now, or next 2 years from now in your learning basket. It works. Hope you got some idea now, the cloud engineering activities. Any questions, let me know. That's it from my end for today. Any further questions, please do reach me, and I'll just show you my contact number on the screen just to make it clear, and let me keep you informed about the next things. I request you to come to my WhatsApp channel for these kind of free webinars in case. Yes, on my screen now. Let me just put this one. Yes, here it is. Yes, friends. We'll stop for now and see you soon in my next webinar. Any questions, comments, please, on my WhatsApp. Any questions or comments, please, on my WhatsApp. You see on my screen. Welcome. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Any more questions, please? I'll wait. Any more questions, please? I'll wait. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Thank you, sir. Tell me, sir. Please tell me. Yes. Please tell me, my dear friend. Please tell me. Ashish. Yeah. Yes, Ashish and others, please. I'll wait. Sorry, Ashwin, right?
So,
Ashwin Thakur. Yeah, tell
yeah.
me, sir. Ashwin Thakur. Tell me, sir. Yeah.
Sir, ideally, data engineering is entirely warehouse handling.
Yes, data engineering is all about warehouse and ETL, sir. ETL and warehouse both together.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, just let me put this way once again. On my screen, sir. These two. This is the main data engineer platform. Are you getting it, sir? This one on my screen.
Yes.
These two items.
Okay.
This is
Then
core data engineering.
okay. Then it means here for ETL, what component you are going to take and what component of warehouse?
Sir, it depends on your requirements, sir. I have everything with me here. Okay. You have to
Okay.
choose whichever you want.
Okay.
Yes. You have to choose whichever
But
you want, sir.
but as you said, Microsoft Azure
Yes,
is
yes. You're right.
good for warehouse, and for ETL you didn't, I mean,
Yeah,
suggested.
here when we say Microsoft, it will be like Data Factory and Databricks, sir. Okay, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, sir. Azure and
Okay.
Azure Synapse also. Everything from Azure comes in Azure Data Engineering, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever warehouse is there, that particular product only ETL should be okay. Okay.
Exactly, exactly. You're right. Azure, Azure, Azure.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
sir.
Next question, friends. I'll wait. I'll write like this.
So in this case, in the ETL, Azure Databricks and Azure Synapse in the warehouse.
You are right. Exactly. Azure Warehouse. Correct. Yes. Okay, are we clear, sir? It's all about Azure only. Okay, Azure, and Azure, sir. Yeah. Next question, please. I'll wait, friends. Ashwin, I had your
So-
contact information with me. I'll
Yes,
send
sir.
you on WhatsApp all this content, okay, to make it
Sure.
clear and easier for your reference, future reference.
Sure. And how much, months session it will be, sir?
Sir,
Months?
any engineering, sir, minimum 2 months.
Okay.
Yes, Azure 2 months, Fabric 2 months, Amazon 2 months, Snowflake with 2 months, okay. And everywhere Spark is common because Spark is open source, it comes everywhere actually. Spark is there, right? Spark comes everywhere. So it comes like this actually, in this way. Okay, so this is Azure, sir. This is Azure. I can mention this one.
Okay.
So in our Azure engineering, we can have Azure Data Warehouse plus Spark Data Warehouse. These two. Spark is common actually. Open Apache Spark common everywhere because Databricks is common.
Okay.
And same way, I'll just put this one. It is like Amazon also, you have this one. So Spark is common here also, sir. And again, Spark is, I think it's not required here. This one, sir. This is Snowflake. Just wait, okay. This one. And this is Amazon's. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this one. This is Amazon with Spark. Spark is common in Amazon also
Okay.
because they have their own storage activities. If it is Fabric, it has no storage, so Spark is not required for it. Getting it, sir? This.
Okay.
But anyway, every of them 2 months, minimum 2 months.
Okay.
This one, yeah. Are you getting it, sir? Is it clear now?
Yes,
I'll
yes.
wait.
Yeah, yes.
Fine, sir. Next question, please. I'll wait, friends. Fine, friends. Thank you. And please make sure we plan it accordingly, carefully, step by step. Okay, we'll do.
Sir, this one last question.
Tell me, sir.
In Azure Data Factory for ETL,
Yes, sir.
do we require any language like Python or Scala?
Yeah, part of
Anything?
my course, sir. Part of my course, I have Python and Scala, both will require actually. I'll make it complete actually. I'll make it complete, sir. We'll
Okay.
do one by one slowly.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll be taking everything slowly, step by step, sir. No issues. No prerequisites except SQL.
Okay.
SQL is a prerequisite, sir. Nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay.
Okay, so I can just put this one actually to make it more easier. I can actually, do this one also. So codeless ETL, and I'll say code-based ETL, sir. This is code-based ETL. Just to make it. Just wait, sir. Yes. It's a code-based ETL. Yes. So for the code-based ETL, I'll include this one, sir. Like for example, this one. I can have the items like this to make it more easier actually. Initially, I was telling Python, that's actual fact, but to make the things easier, sir, I can put like this. Azure Data Factory, this will be Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. Okay, this one, sir. Okay, next. Yes, here it is. And same way we have code-based ETL, right? Code-based ETL. Then we have something called Synapse Analytics. That Synapse Analytics comes here also. In Synapse Analytics, we have code-based ETL and codeless ETL, but mostly codeless ETL will be Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics. We have both codeless and code-based, but mostly it will be in this way. Next, this one, sir. Synapse has both. Azure Synapse Analytics. Next, so all green items part of my Azure classes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Next, apart from that, we have code-based ETL, right? There's something called Fabric. For Fabric, I'll simply put it as red color, something like this, or some color in this way. Here it is. For Fabric, it will be code-based ETL, right? We have something called Fabric notebooks. Fabric data flow and notebooks, we call it. Same way, we have something called Athena. This is for Athena. This is for Amazon, sir. I'll just put it as, for example, this one. Here it is. This is for Amazon.
Okay.
This one, Amazon Glue. Okay, in this way. This one, sir. And same way, Snowflake. For Snowflake, we have something called Snowpark. I'll call it Snowflake. The last one. And they have their own. Just put this one. Here we go. There's something called Snowpark. I mean, each of the engineering have their own codeless ETL, code-based ETL. This is Snowpark. I'll put it as yellow, like this. Okay, whereas here also data build tool is for the codeless ETL, DBT tool, we call it this one. That's it, sir. These are the items actually.
Yeah, it's more easy to understand. Yeah, it got. So
Got it,
thanks.
sir. Right. Thank you. Yep. Okay, I'll send you the screenshot to you anyway. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Any more questions, sir? Let me know.
Sir,
Nothing from my side.
Yeah, please tell me. Yes.
I have some questions. May I ask?
Please tell me. Yep.
Do you provide any guidance for the certification?
Yeah, complete guidance for the certification part of my class is pretty sure about it. Yes. Complete guidance with latest dumps, latest certification samples. We do conduct sample certifications as well. We do, yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yep. Next question, friends. I'll wait, please. Yes, please. Next question, please. I'll wait. Fine, friends. Thank you. Please complete your practice. Once you join the course, please make sure you do on-time practice. Okay. Thank you so much, friends. Have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
friends.
friends.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yep.